Hey everyone, I'm Dylan from Node Finance, and today we are going to be going over a quick tutorial of how you can integrate Web3 Auth with the Node SDK. Now, quick preliminary, Web3 Auth is, as they say on their website, Web3 key infrastructure simplified for everyone. So what this is it is a convenient way for your users to log in with traditional Web2 methods as a means of authenticating their wallet. So this leads to very powerful onboarding flows, especially for mobile development, which is what the Node SDK is tailored for. So we'll go and we'll create an account. It looks like it auto logs me in, so we'll log out real quick and log back in with Google. While this processes, we'll just select my Google account and let it think a little bit. And now we're in the dashboard. So next up, we just have to create a project. I'll name this my demo, but obviously name it whatever you want. And there's multiple environments you can choose from. For the sake of an MVP, we're going to go with testnet. And then finally, you're going to select the chain that you'll be using. Node SDK only supports EVM for now, so we're going to go with that. We'll continue, and you can see your project was just created. You're going to want to take note of your client ID, as that will be important later on. Finally, we are going to install dependencies. That is the React Native SDK as well as the React Native web browser. I've already have these installed, but you'll need to run this command. Additionally, for iOS, you'll have to install pods, which I've already ran as well, but you will need to run this command as well. And now we're ready to do code. So from here, the next step is to move over to your application, and you are going to want to take note of your scheme as well as whatever URL you're going to want to redirect to after the user has successfully onboarded with Web3 Auth. The reason we need to know those two pieces of information right now is because we actually have to whitelist that redirect URL within Web3 Auth. So in our case, this is going to be node wallet at Web3 Auth demo. In your case, it will be your scheme // screen name. So here we'll go over to Web3 Auth and we'll add this in as a whitelist URL. Web3 Auth demo. And from here we are good to jump into the code. So now the first thing we need to look at is necessary variables for the node kit provider. So here you can notice for this demo we are on Celo, but this can be done for any EVM chain. You will need your node API key, and loading component is optional, highly recommended if you don't want to show a blank screen while loading. And then finally, defer wallet load. This is another optional parameter. However, if you are only using Web3 Auth, it is highly recommended because what this is going to do, it's going to tell the node kit provider to not look into the encrypted storage for wallet credentials, and it's going to defer that to a later point where the developer actually provides credentials for the current session, which is exactly what we'll be doing for Web3 Auth. So now we'll jump to the Web3 Auth screen. And we can see we already have the Web3 Auth object set up. All we need here is the imported object from the Web3 Auth SDK, as well as the imported browser that we installed earlier on. All we provide to Web3 Auth is the client ID and the network. Remember, we chose testnet for this MVP. However, yours may be different. You can double check that on the Web3 Auth dashboard with whatever it says right here. So with those in place, we can confirm that we're actually able to log in with Web3 Auth. So we have this demo login function, and when we click this button that says connect to Web3 Auth right here, we will be calling demo login. So let's test it out. Now it requests to open the web view, and we'll let it. And we'll log in with Google. We'll use our Notify account. You probably should use two-factor authentication. We'll set this up later though. And now we can see confirmed that we connected to the Web3Auth session at this ID. However, you'll notice that our wallet is still not loaded. That's because we didn't actually pass this response to the Node SDK. In order to do that, we'll need to use this onLogin callback that we've already defined. So what this callback is doing is it is logging in exactly the same as before, but it is taking this response and it is giving it to the Node SDK through this callback retrieved from use load session only wallet. So here, all we do is we provide the private key in the config, and it's going to take that private key and it's going to generate the signer for the wallet, and then it will load the wallet into the SDK. So we'll say on login, save that to hot reload it. And now on success, we should get an alert. And we'll also see the wallet address change as well as the status of the signer. So we can see it's still not loaded, but we'll log in. I'll wait for this to think. And we'll see it was a success. So we loaded the wallet at the address starting with 140, ending with 1FB. And we can see that the signer is loaded. This is the standard Ethers.js signer, which means you can use it for any arbitrary transaction on the network. And just like that, it's that simple to connect Web3Auth with the Node SDK. From here, you can use the Node SDK as if you were using an entirely locally managed wallet. From a user perspective, it's not going to be any different.